Shalom Yasharella, giving all praise and glory to the Most High. We're going into the last day of the feast, which is the Sabbath. So I want to go through a few scriptures to, keep it in mind and go for it as we do. Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. Give thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So we're going to look at Deuteronomy 16 and verse 13. Deuteronomy 16 and 13. Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days, which we have done. After that thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine, the blessings of the Most High. Of being able to have our corn and our wine. And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant and thy maidservant and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. Supposed to be rejoicing for 7 days, which hopefully you did. It says, 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Most High thy power in the place which the Most High shall choose, because the Most High thy power shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice. Then you know that, hey, regardless of however you look at yourself, if you were able to see this video, hear this video, then you blessed. Because a lot of people don't have access to the internet and computers and the things that we enjoy on social media. He's also told us in verse 16, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Most High thy power in the place which he shall choose. In the feast of unleavened bread, these 3 times, all males supposed to come together. In the feast of unleavened bread, which is the day after Passover, and in the feast of weeks, which is 50 days after the Passover, and in the Feast of Tabernacles, the 7th month, 15th day, pretty much around the middle of the month, where we coming together now. The first day and the last day of feast, and in the Feast of Tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Most High empty. You're supposed to have something whenever you come to these feasts. These feast days, you're supposed to be contributing something as the Most High has blessed you. You can't say he didn't bless you because, you have enough money to have internet. You have money to have computers and all the other things that you enjoy. That's what he's saying. 3 times in a year. Only 3 times in a year he's saying. Shall all of thy males appear before the Most High thy power in the place which he shall choose. Right? And in verse 17 said, every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Most High thy power which he have given thee. So you got to look at, when you bless, you got to put some aside for these 3 times of the year. You can't say you're not blessed. All of us blessed, one way or another, compared to where we were and working for free, if you know what I mean. So everybody has something, It's like a Mashiach that was said, so who gave the most? Someone that gave some into the treasury, or this lady that gave the 2 mites? She gave all that she had. She gave the most, he said. Someone that have money, they're giving something, it's not hurting them. It's not... they don't feel that at all. So, Leviticus 23rd chapter, and these are the feast days of the Most High, but we're dealing with the Feast of Tabernacles, the end of it. So, we're looking at Leviticus 23 and 33, and it reads, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Most High, right? On the first day shall be an holy convocation. See, the first day is a holy convocation, just like a regular Sabbath, only you have a feast. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. So you got to try and get off work, for the next time that we have the feast. You have off days, days that they give you off, sick days and so forth, vacation days, take them for these feast days that you don't have to work. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. The 8th day, that's the last day. The 8th day. That's what we had now. For the time that we started our feast. You see? On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, holy gatherings, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High, a burnt offering and a meat offering and a sacrifice and a drink offerings, everything upon his day. You hear that? Upon his day. You see? So this is very important that we observe this and look at this sincerely. Jump to verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Most High your power 7 days. So this is how he said we're supposed to be building this tabernacle, that we're supposed to be in like tents, and ye shall keep it a feast unto the Most High 7 days in a year. It shall be a statute forever in your generation. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. See that? So from there we're going to look at Exodus, the 34th chapter, and the 22nd verse. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end, which is dealing with the feast of Pentecost when you read it in Acts, the 2nd chapter. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. Thrice, when 3 times in the year shall all your male children appear before the Most High power, the power of Israel. You know? So he's letting us know how we're supposed to be doing these things. 2 Corinthians 6 and 2. It's very important that we observe, because we're rehearsing really. You know, but some people say you can't have it because it's not in the homeland, but the homeland is defiled right now because we're not there. He gonna burn that place up, like he gonna burn this place up to purify it. Things they're doing over there. Look at 2 Corinthians 6 and 2. For he said, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I secured thee. Behold, now is the acceptable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Dealing with giving you a clue of how we're going to be delivered during the time of these feast days. Zechariah, 12th chapter. Says, the burden of the word of the Most High for Israel, said the Most High, which stretches forth the heavens and layeth the foundation of the earth and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. That's the southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. It's going to be cut in pieces. Zechariah 12 and 1 down. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. Though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Hear that? In that day, said the Most High, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and its rider with madness. And I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Wow. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, this is what they're going to say, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, in the Most High power of hosts, their power. In that day will I make the governors of Judah like an hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in a sheaf. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. The Most High also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. So Judah, the head tribe, he said he's going to save the tents of Judah first. In that day shall the Most High defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Oh yeah, says be as David. You know, King David been borrowed steel with his bare hands. And the house of David shall be as the Most High. You hear that? And the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Most High before them. Woo. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem, that come against we, the Israelites. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace, which is getting something you don't deserve, and of supplications, sadness and crying, spirit of love, and they shall look upon me, whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadarammon in the valley of Megiddon. And the land shall mourn, every family apart. It is, and the land shall mourn, every family apart. The family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart. The family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart. The family of the house of Levi apart, and their wives apart. The family of Shemuel apart, and their wives apart. All the families that remain, every family apart, and their wives apart. You notice how he keeps saying the wives apart? Every family apart, and their wives apart. Think about it. Let's go to Zechariah 13. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Most High Power of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered, like LORD and GOD and AMEN that we use continually. I don't anymore, but a lot of you still using those idols. He said, well, cut those names out. That's not identifying him at all. Those are names that were created by the Greeks. See, they ain't going to be remembered no more. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begot him shall say unto him, thou shalt not live. Want to kill him. His own father and mother. But I'll speak of lies in the name of the Most High. And his father and his mother that begot him shall trust him through when he prophesieth. Ain't that something? And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed, every one of his vision. When he have prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. Ain't that something? But he shall say, I am no prophet. I am an husbandman, I'm a farmer. But man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, what are these wounds in thy hands? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, these preachers, and against the man that is my fellow, said the Most High of hosts, power of hosts, smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. This is what happened with the Mashiach Yahushua. And I would turn mine hand upon the little ones. Remember they smote Mashiach Yahushua and everybody, all his apostles left. Peter denied him 3 times. He said, you're going to deny me 3 times before the cock crow. But he said he's going to turn his hand upon his little ones. And remember, it says it's better for you to tie a millstone, a big boulder around your neck, and cast it into the sea to mess with one of his little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That's 2/3. Well, we get to 2/3 and a 1/3. Or the Israelites that's going to be redeemed, the remnant and so forth. But the third shall be left therein. You see, 1/3 going to be saved. And I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall say, the Most High is my power. Understand, overstand this. So, let's look at Zechariah 14:9. It says, and the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one power, and his name one. Verse 11. And men shall dwell in it. Slakia. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Haniel unto the king's wine presses, and men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. No more crying, no more tears. It's going to be safely inhabited forever and ever and ever. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Everyone that's fought against us, and you know it's a whole lot of killings that they've done and murdering that they've done. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Right now they're talking about nuclear war. But this what happened in nuclear war. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Sound like nuclear destruction to me. It shall come to pass in that day that a great turmoil from the Most High shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor. Sound just like what we read in 2 Ezra 15 and 14 down. Racial wars. They shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about, everything that they have, shall be gathered together. Gold. This reparation right here to the utmost. Gold. You hear what it say? The wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together. What's going to be gathered together? Gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. That's why he said, Obadiah 17. Obadiah 17. He said, but upon Mount Zion, the 12 tribes of Israel shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, right? What did it say we're going to get? Gold and silver and apparel, clothes in a great abundance, right? Who's he talking about? Whose possession we're going to possess? Let's go to verse 1. The vision of Obadiah the prophet. Thus say the Most High power concerning Edom. So the Edomites. And to tell you in 2 Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Yeah. Back to Zechariah 14 and verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king. Hear that? So they even going to learn now, they're going to learn later, but they're going to bow down now, they're going to bow down later, but you're going to have to do this. And it shall come to pass, if you're going to be in this righteous kingdom that can be set on this earth, it said it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations, a remnant of the nations going to be left, which came against Jerusalem, came against we the children of Israel, shall even go up from year to year to worship the king, the power of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles. Hear that? They're going to keep the feast of tabernacles. And it shall be this condition, that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king, the power of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. Ain't going to be no blessing at all. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Tell me it's not important. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Most High not playing. Play with him if y'all want to. Another Isaiah 66. Last thing Isaiah was telling us. You know, I'm not sure shy. He quoted Isaiah because all he had was the Old Testament anyway when he walked the earth. I don't know why y'all have a problem with him. So he didn't have any. You can go by the New Testament. The only thing he had was the law and the prophets. So we're going to looking at Isaiah 66 and 23. It says, well, let's read that 22. I like 22. Isaiah 66, 22. For as the new heavens, just the kingdom, for as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, said the Most High, so shall your seed and your name remain. Our children and the name going to remain. The righteous children. And it shall, remember tell you in Ezekiel 9 and 4, he said, go through and smite little children too. Wicked little children. So, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon, this in the kingdom, from one new moon, that's the first day of the month, could say one new month, but they put moon there, but one new moon to another, that's the first day of the month, and from one Sabbath to another, every 7 days, and all the feast days. As you see, we already know that we're going to be honoring the Feast of Tabernacles. And those nations that don't come up to worship Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, ain't going to be no blessings on them. The rain is blessing because he rains on your crops and they flourish, you know. So we're in the kingdom now. It said, it shall come to pass, verse 23, that from one new moon to another and from one Sabbath to another shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Most High. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses, the dead, this are dead bodies, of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. We're going to see this, we're going to hate it, but you can't do nothing about it. Mashiach Shai, he talked about it too. Look at Mark, the 9th chapter, and the 44th verse. See, some of the Bibles took this out though. Say the Bible been tampered with, yeah. A lot of the Bibles, these verses are taken out. Let's see, Mark 9 and verse 43, and if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed. That's whatever you handling. You're not talking about literally cut your hand off. Cut it off. Stop doing whatever you handling, whatever you dealing with your hands. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Hear that? And if thy foot offend thee, wherever you going, cut it off. Stop doing it. It is better for thee to enter halt into life than having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. See what he's saying? And if thine eye offend thee, whatever you looking at offend thee, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of the Most High with one eye than having 2 eyes to be cast into hell fire. I'm telling you, that's that everlasting fire, hell fire, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. The same thing Isaiah left us with. The last words he left us with. We'll see them carcasses of the men that have transgressed against the Most High, where their worm never died and the fire is never quenched. Well, now we're going to look at 1 Corinthians 15th chapter. 1 Corinthians 15th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So ain't no flesh and blood in heaven with the Most High and the angels. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood, we are flesh and blood, cannot, I repeat, cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Neither does corruption inherit incorruption. So when y'all thinking that every Israelite could be wicked as ever, they're going to be saved, no, they're corrupt. It cannot inherit incorruption. It cannot inherit an immortality body, or immortal body, I might say. Behold, I show you a mystery. This is a secret. This is something that's unknown. We shall not all sleep. Everybody's not going to die. But we shall all be changed. We all going to be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Going to be raised incorruptible. A body that's going to be prepared for everlasting life. And we shall be changed. We're going to be changed. For this corruptible body is talking about must put on incorruption. And this mortal shall put on immortality. Meaning you have an opportunity to live forever and ever and ever. So when this corruptible, meaning this corruptible body that we have, shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal body that we have shall have put on immortality, meaning you're going to be able to live forever and ever and ever, then shall be brought forth to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory, no more death. That's what it's talking about, immortality, living forever and ever and ever. See? So, that's good news. Hebrews 11 and 9. Hebrews 11 and 9. By faith, let's go up a little bit on verse 8. By faith, Abraham, let's talk about faith here. And the definition of faith is in verse 1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, when you look at verse 8, pertaining to our forefather Abraham, by faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. That's faith. He obeyed. And that's what the Most High wants us to be obedient. He don't want us to have to keep repenting and asking for forgiveness for something that we done wrong. Because pretty soon it's going to be like, hey, are you coming back for him again? Most High going to turn his face away from you. Why you can't just do what he wants you to do? You know, he tell you in Hebrews 10:31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. He wants you to be obedient and you want to do it your way. Hey, your way going to see what we just read about earlier in hell. Where the worm never died and the fires never quenched. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. He didn't know where he was going. Just led by faith. Having faith in the Most High, like y'all got faith in your employers that they're going to pay you. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise, you see. Let you know that promise is to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, period. Look at, let's go back to Leviticus 23rd chapter and verse 42. So that's a good chapter, Hebrews 11 chapter, as far as dealing with faith, give you examples of our forefathers and showing you how they had strong faith. Leviticus 23 and 42. Well, let's go back to verse 41. It said, "Ye shall keep it a feast." It's the Feast of Tabernacles to the Most High 7 days in a year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month, on the 15th day, as he said. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths, when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Most High your power. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Most High. All the feasts of the Most High that he ordained that we're supposed to keep is in Leviticus 23rd chapter. You should know them by heart. And you should know the feast that we said we're going to honor in remembrance of getting the victory over our enemies too. Okay, Hosea 12 and 9. Hosea 12 and 9. "And I, that am the Most High, thy power from the land of Egypt, will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles, as in the days of the solemn feasts." See, we still going to have to deal with this. See, Matthew 25. Matthew 25 and 31. Matthew 25, 31. "When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him," 200 million. Tell you in Revelation 9:16, 200,000. He heard the number of them, 200 million angels. That's his holy angels with him. "Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left." So he's going to put the sheep on his right hand and the goats on the left. And he said in Matthew 15:24, "But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So he's going to put the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. "Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. These that have the true testament of Mashiach Yahushua and keeping his commandments, fearing the Most High, and having faith in the Most High." He said, "For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me." Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, "Mashiach, when saw we thee and hungry, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee?" And the king shall answer and say unto them, "Verily I say unto you, truly I say unto you, insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren who are Israelites," because it tell you that in Hebrews 7:14, it's evident that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, sprang out of Judah. So it says, "Insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me." See? "Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand," that's the goats, "Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." Yeah? 2/3 of our people going here. 2, along with the goats. And that goat spirit gonna put them right here. From the nations, because he saw the goats too. We got the goat symbol. You know, the 5-point star, you turn it upside down. It's a goat head. The 2 horns, the floppy ears, and the goatee. Oh yeah. And our people, right here. Because he mainly was among us, dealing with us. "For I was hungry, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick, and you in prison, and you visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Mashiach, Master, when saw we thee a hungry, or thirst, or stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them and say. That's what he going to be saying. Verily, truly I say unto you, insomuch as ye did it not to one of these, the least of these, that he's saying, like he said in verse 40, insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So he's saying, when you have done it unto the least of these, who was his brethren, the Israelites, ye did it not to me. And you know, that's why he told Saul, say, why are you kicking against the pricks? Why are you hurting me? When you hurt the children of Israel, having them put to death for calling on Baha Shama Mashak Yahushai, he said, that's him. So when you done it to the least of these, ye did it not to me. Said, when you did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment. Remember what it said, where the worms never die and the fires never quenched, but the righteous into life eternal. So the righteous are those of the Israelites that fulfill what righteousness is. In Deuteronomy 6:25, and it shall be our righteousness, this condition, if it's a condition, if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power as he hath commanded us, point blank. If not, then you're not the righteous. Go to St. John, the 7th chapter. St. John, the 7th chapter. And we're going to look at let's look at verse 1. It says, after these things, the Mashiach Yahushua walked in Galilee, that's northern Israel. But he would not walk in Jewry, which is Jerusalem, southern Israel, because the Jews sought to kill him. Hear that? Verse 2, now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. See, it's the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. So he's trying to encourage him to go to Jerusalem. For there's no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly, you know. But Mashiach Shai made himself no reputation. Because he would heal people and say, don't tell nobody I did it. What kind of spirit is that? It wasn't about no pride, that's humble. For neither did his brethren believe in him. Hear that? His own people didn't believe him. That's why he said, we will not have this man to reign over. He said, those that were not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. That's going to happen because people at the end of the world going to not believe in him. Y'all think he come back for the first time. He coming back not as a man to judge and make war, as it is written. And Mashiach said unto them, my time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. He said, my time ain't come, but your time is always ready. He can take you out anytime. The world cannot hate you, but me it hated. What did it say? It tells you in verse 1, it says, he did go to Jerusalem, or Jewry, as it says here, because the Jews sought to kill him. Verse 7, he said, the world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. And that's why a lot of people have a problem with us when we talking about all the evil that's going on in this world. Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come. So, but they was looking for him. Jump over to verse 37. In the last day, as we're in the last day, that great day of the feast that we in right now, we observing. Mashiach stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. That's the word. You believe on him? He come in the volume of the book. He the word of the Most High. But this he spake, this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive. For the Holy Spirit was not yet given, because that Mashiach was not yet glorified. You know, that's why he said, I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you. He said, he came in Acts the 2nd chapter. Many of the people, therefore, when they heard this saying, said of a truth, this is the prophet. Others said, this is Hamashiach. But some said, shall Mashiach come out of Galilee because he came from a place? That's like you live in a certain place. That's why they be calling you, say, what's your nationality? What's your race, brother? It be from wherever place that you come from, that you live in. Get out of here. You come from your daddy's seed, man. That's why it says. They saying, shall Mashiach come out of Galilee? Have not the scriptures said that a Mashiach cometh of the seed of David? That's the sperm, the copulation, the lineage of David, and not no angel. And out of the town of Bethlehem, where David was. So there was a division among the people because of him. It's always been division. See, this ain't nothing new that we see now. And some of them would have taken him when they wanted to kill him. But no man laid hands on him. See. From there, let's look at Revelation 20, the 20th chapter. So I don't know how people read the Bible and they think this is it was a joyous thing that he went through in being himself. Look at Revelation 20 and 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of a Mashiach Yahushua, like they killed him. Gonna be some that's gonna be beheaded for the witness of a Mashiach Yahushua. That was. And for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast. See? They ain't worshipped the image of, or any characteristic of any idol that these other nations have, including all the idols that they have today. Neither his image, you see? Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads and their minds, or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. You see that? That's what we're waiting on. To live and reign with a Mashiach Yahushua for 1,000 years. So he told us, hold that. He told us in Revelation 5 and 10. And hath made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. So we ain't reigning up in the sky somewhere. We're going to reign right here on the earth. Remember we read in Isaiah 66 chapter, you're going to create new heavens and new earths? Yeah. So Revelation 20 and 5 says, but the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. Of such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. You see? Now, look at Matthew 10 and 15. Matthew 10 and 15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, he burnt those cities up in the day of judgment than for that city. What city? It says, let's go up from there. He told him, he said, this is when he sent them out. I think it's 72 by 2. And he said, let's start at verse 13. let's start at 12. And when ye come into an house, salute it. You come into a house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. If the people that's in the house, because the house is just, a house. Talking about the people that's in the house, be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. Don't bring no shalom, no peace to that house. If it's not worthy, he said, and whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Shake the dust of your feet off. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. He said, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves, bunch of wicked people. Be ye therefore wise as serpents. That's what we got to look at. We got to be wise as serpents, wise as the devils, and Satan's, and the dragons, and the beast, and the spirit of Esau, and the devil. All of the same. Therefore, he's saying, be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You still got to be humble. But beware of men, he said. But they will deliver you up to the consuls, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, he said, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak, what you're supposed to say. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father, the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which speaketh in you. You see, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. Wow, this is deep. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Telling you. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. So you're going to better do all the work that you got to do, going through all the cities before he come. Ezekiel 16. Ezekiel 16. And when he come, we're going to go right back to celebrating, as we're doing now, and rehearsing these holy convocations of Tabernacles and all the rest of them. Ezekiel 16, and let's look at verse 53. When I shall bring again their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Samaria and her daughters, then will I bring again the captivity of thy captives in the midst of them. For thou mayest bear thine own shame, and mayest be confounded in all that thou hast done, and that thou art a comfort unto them. When thy sisters, Sodom and her daughters, shall return to their former estate, stop being dealing with the way the world would have them, women with women and so forth, men with men and so forth, shall return to their former estate in being a man and being a woman, and Samaria and her daughters shall return to their former estate, then thou and thy daughters shall return to your former estate. See? And we're going to be just the way the Most High would have us to be in righteousness. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by thy mouth in the day of thy pride. You lift it up, but then here we are looking at the people that was in Sodom, just like Job. He went to his son-in-laws. Hey man, it's going to rain fire and brimstone down there. They didn't leave. And his wife turned around, didn't she? Yeah. So it was something there. Before thy wickedness was discovered, as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that are round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lewdness and thine abominations, said the Most High. See, dealing with these other nations, and they really in actuality, he told us don't deal with these other nations because they're gonna deal with their idols. It's gonna turn you away from him. He said, "For thus said the Most High Power, I even will deal with thee as thou hast done, the things we have done in disobeying them, dealing with these abominations and so forth, which has despised the oath and breaking the covenant, breaking the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant." Good thing that the Most High said he remembered his promise that of his covenant, his contract, his agreement that he had with us as the children of Israel. As we went and dealing with the things, he burned up Sodom. He called us what he called Sodom. Sodom and her daughters. You see what I'm saying? All the wickedness that they were dealing with, we was all up in it. As it is today. Ain't no difference. What's the difference? Ain't no difference. Only he says worse now than it was then. That's why we got to set ourselves apart from the world and how it is. Then thou shalt be remembered thy ways and be ashamed. Repent. When thou hast received thy sisters, thine elder and thy younger, and I will give them unto thee for daughters, but not by thy covenant. See, not by our agreement. It's going to be the way the Most High is going to establish it. And I will establish my covenant with thee, and thou shalt know that I am the Most High, that thou mayest remember and be confounded, be confused, and never open thy mouth anymore because of thy shame. We realize how shameful we have been in offending the Most High and doing exactly what he didn't want us to do. We always want to learn the way of the heathen. We always want to follow the way of the heathen. When you say all you need is me, follow me. He tell you the love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. The commandments are not grievous in 1 John 5:3. But here we are, shameful before the Most High, that thou mayest remember and be confounded. Remember and be confused, and never open thy mouth anymore because of thy shame. He's going to shut you up. When I am pacified toward thee for all that thou hast done, said the Most High Power. Man, it's cold. But we all got to go through this in 2 Corinthians 5:10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach. 2 Corinthians 5:10. That every one may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushai. Y'all think he's